Origins of Namor. Namor the Submariner is the ruler of undersea Atlantis. The offspring of a sea captain and an Atlantean princess, he has been both a hero and a villain to the surface world. Namor is one of Marvel's oldest published characters with his origins in the golden age of comics. Captain Leonard Mackenzie was on an expedition in 1920 to Antarctica, looking for the mystical helmet of power. His ship, the Oracle, was stuck in ice floes, so Mackenzie used explosive charges to break them up. Unknown to Mackenzie, the ancient city of Atlantis was directly below. The city was severely damaged and the Atlantean ruler, Emperor Dha commanded his daughter to send warriors to investigate the source of the deadly blasts. Not wanting to endanger anyone else, Princess Fen made the journey alone. On reaching the ship, Fen was immediately captured by one of the crew, but not speaking each other's languages, she was unable to communicate with anyone. Nonetheless, having remained on board for a number of days, Princess Fen and Captain Mackenzie fell in love and were married by the ship's chaplain. Weeks later, Dha sent a war party in search of his missing daughter. Thinking they held Fen captive, the Atlanteans attacked and killed all the humans on the ship, including Leonard Mackenzie. Fen was brought back to Atlantis, and from that tragic marriage was born the first hybrid between a human and an Atlantean prince, Namor, the Submariner. Namor grew up with hatred for the surface world. He met Jim Hammond, the original Human Torch, when he finally visited the surface world. But when Nazis attacked Atlantis, he joined Captain America against them. Namor was also allied with his cousin Namora, who was also half human, half Atlantean, and shared many of the same powers. One fateful day after the war, a series of earthquakes rocked Atlantis, nearly destroying it. Thus destined to repeat his mother's fate, Namor is ordered by his grandfather Emperor Dha to investigate. Namor tracked down the source of the attack to a cave in Antarctica, where he found a man called Destiny, who told him he is the one who attacked Atlantis with his helmet of power. Destiny used his mental powers to hold the Submariner still and show him Atlantis crumbling and his mother and grandfather crushed to death beneath the debris. Destiny then used his mental powers to give Namor amnesia and send him away to New York, where he wandered around as a hobo for a number of years. During this absence, Namora was thought to have been killed. Eventually, Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four found Namor in a homeless shelter and, recognizing him, dropped him in New York Harbor, deciding water may cure the Atlanteans' amnesia. Namor instantly recovered most of his memory and returned to where Atlantis had stood before his absence. However, finding it abandoned and in ruins, assumed humans had destroyed it and went about warring with the surface world. He awakened the giant whale-like monster Giganto and unleashed it on New York City. Namor also tried to claim the Invisible Woman as his own despite her relationship with Mr. Fantastic. Namor and Giganto were both defeated by the Fantastic Four, and he eventually found the new Atlantis, becoming monarch of the Subsea Empire. However, Namor is constantly drawn back into surface world affairs and often finds himself battling both Earth's superheroes and villains. Despite his long-time hostility to the surface, Namor was convinced into helping Doctor Strange in a battle against forces known as the Undying Ones. Soon the duo became a trio after being joined by the Hulk. The trio soon became known as the Defenders. However, the team had no real alliance and often didn't even like each other, but various threats kept causing them to band together. They soon began to take on new members such as the Silver Surfer. Soon other heroes Nighthawk, Hellcat, and Valkyrie joined, and others aided, but were often called Defenders for a day. Namor worked with the team when they fought against demons from various hells who attempted to merge them into one, and even against his enemies and allies the Avengers when both teams were tricked by Loki and Dormammu. Yet he, along with the main four members, would soon finally depart the team as they always intended. Once again becoming ruler of Atlantis, and the Atlanteans also fighting against those who wished to harm his city of his reign, such as Attuma, who for years wanted to rule Atlantis, even turning Lady Dorma against him for a short time. It was around this time that Tiger Shark appeared, a swimmer whose DNA was mixed with that of Namor's and a tiger shark, which made him almost as strong. He would go on to trouble Namor for years to come, and became one of his main enemies. Namor finally married his great love and cousin Dorma, or so he believed. It soon came to light that he had truly wed Lyra. Lyra was like Namor, a human merman hybrid, but ruled over Lemuria and its people. After discovering the truth, Namor searched for Dorma and discovered that Lyra had taken her to the surface. He hoped to free her from Lyra, but she exposed Dorma to the surface by breaking her tank, causing her death. Avenger. After the death of his wife, Namor for a time thought of a romance with his teammate Valkyrie, but his feelings for Dorma made this impossible. Despite this, Namor once again found love in the form of Marina. Marina was alien member of the Plodex species. Arriving on Earth and growing into adulthood, she became part of the Canadian superhero team Alpha Flight. Marina was troubled with the discovery of her true savage alien form, but she was able to become normal once again. She left her teammates at Alpha Flight to be with Namor, even creating the new undersea kingdom of Deluvia. The Submariner even joined his longtime ally Captain America in joining the Avengers with his wife. The alliance was pivotal in freeing Marina from the clutches of Attuma. However, their happiness soon came to an end when Marina became aware of her pregnancy and her savage form, the Leviathan, was released. Namor had no choice but to euthanize his love with the ebony blade. Atlantis attacks and death. The forces of the sea-dwelling people soon joined forces against the surface. Led by Attuma, Lyra, and Gore, they made attacks against humans. Attempts at resurrecting the evil god Set were made using the serpent crown. Nearly all superheroes became involved in protecting the surface from the Atlanteans, Set and his followers. In the beginning it seemed as though the Submariner had fallen in battle. This was later revealed to be false when Namor, the Avengers, and the Fantastic Four fought against Set's forces, but for a time he allowed the world to believe he had indeed been slain. Powers. Atlantean mutant physiology. Due to Namor's unique Atlantean and mutant physiology, he possesses all the powers of most Atlanteans, such as breathing underwater, enhanced physicals, and extended lifespans, as Namor is over 90 years old but still in his prime. Namor's abilities, however, are much greater than your standard Atlantean. It should be noted that all of Namor's abilities decrease the longer he is dehydrated, removed from water, and has shown things such as extreme heats can weaken him quicker. Superhuman strength. Namor is easily one of the strongest beings on the planet, and is considered to be one of the most powerful mutants, stronger than the likes of Colossus. He has thrown hundreds of thousands of tons such as seacraft carriers with ease, overloaded Sebastian Shaw's kinetic energy absorption with his punches, shaken entire islands with his blows, destroyed battle tanks and created shockwaves that have caused earthquakes and tsunamis while clashing with other powerhouses. When Champion came to Earth searching for a worthy opponent for a boxing match, he picked Namor, alongside Hulk, Thor, Wonder Man, Colossus, The Thing, Sasquatch, and Doc Samson. He was also said to be one of the physically strongest Avengers, alongside Hulk, Thor, Hercules, Wonder Man, and Gilgamesh. When fully hydrated, he has been strong to hold his own against the likes of Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Hulk, Juggernaut, Hercules, Wonder Man, Ares, The Thing, Sentry, Hyperion, Icarus, Blue Marvel, Black Bolt, Silver Surfer, Super Skrull, Apocalypse, Abomination, Dragon Man, Rhino, Orca, Tiger Shark, Attuma, Griffin, Chernobog, Purin, Scourge, Wrecker, Red Hulk, Doc Samson, Giant Man, Iron Man, War Machine, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Luke Cage and Nimrods, among others. As of late, his strength seems to have been further enhanced to an unknown degree after draining Hydromon, enabling him to simultaneously and single-handedly stop attacks from both Thor and Iron Man at the same time with no visible strain while underwater. Superhuman speed reflexes. Namor is capable of moving at superhuman speeds, being capable of dodging bullets, moving faster than the eye can follow in short bursts, and has even dodged sonic attacks before. He is, however, faster in the sea and has shown he can create whirlpools by swimming in circles and has been clocked in at 300 knots. Superhuman durability. Namor's body is incredibly durable, being able to survive the pressures of even the greatest depths of the sea. He is completely bulletproof and fireproof to a degree. He has taken blows from Thor, Beta Ray Bill, Hulk, Juggernaut, Hercules, Wonder Man, Ares, The Thing, Sentry, Hyperion, Icarus, Blue Marvel, Black Bolt, Silver Surfer, Super Skrull, Apocalypse, Abomination, Dragon Man, Rhino, Orca, Tiger Shark, Atuma, Griffin, Chernobog, Purin, Scourge, Wrecker, Red Hulk, Doc Samson, Giant Man, Iron Man, War Machine, She-Hulk, Miss Marvel, Luke Cage, and so on, and has kept fighting. He has shown to be capable of tanking titanium-cutting lasers with virtually no damage, and has withstood Cyclops' optic blasts at maximum power. Things such as adamantium, vibranium, or the ebony blade have been shown to cut him, however. His body's durability has been further increased to an unknown degree after draining Hydro-Man, as he has recently no-sold attacks from Carol Danvers and an amped-up She-Hulk with no visible damage on his part while underwater. Undersea animal mimicry. Namor possessed the ability to channel the powers of any aquatic fauna hailing from the sea. For example, from channeling the power of an electric eel to shoot out electric bolts from his hands or even penetrate Sue Storm's force barriers with it, to bloating up like a puffer fish, increasing his mass and resilience to physical assault to increasing his attack power. He has also used radar powers like a blind fish to see the Invisible Woman whilst she was invisible. Marine telepathy. Namor also boasts a telepathic rapport with most forms of marine life, often using it to control sea life to a certain degree as well as relay psychic decrees to his Atlantean people. Although he rarely uses it, and when he does so sparingly still. Magical blood. All Atlantean magic flows from Namor, their king. His royal blood also is a magic ingredient that can be used in spells. Atmokinesis. In a similar fashion as to how Ororo of the X-Men can manipulate weather phenomena to her liking. King Namor, even without his trident, showcased the ability to manipulate rain and storm clouds in order to facilitate heavy precipitation. One time promoting a powerful deluge intense enough to smother Johnny Storm's flames. Hydrokinesis. Namor currently possesses hydrokinesis after Atlantis kidnapped Hydro-Man and siphoned off part of his powers. Namor is capable of casually flooding cities with his new power. Mutant power. Namor's mutant power are the wings on his ankles, which appear to allow him to fly, and his greater degree of strength and physical ability. Mr. Mackenzie was actually the first comic book character with the power of flight, already flying in his second comic book appearance in Marvel Comics 1, while all other contemporary characters like Captain Marvel, Superman and Wonder Woman only could leap great distances and didn't fly canonically until several months later. His skin is very resistant to any physical damage, he can resist bullet fire with ease and is fireproof. Skills. Due to Namor's extended lifespan and fighting in many wars and battles, he is a seasoned hand-to-hand combatant and experienced diplomat and a fine king. These skills have earned him the respect of his colleagues, no matter which side he was on, and fear of his enemies. He is also a capable weapons user, having wielded his trident, swords, and spears efficiently. Namor's preferred method of combat is engaging his opponents in hand-to-hand combat.